Imagine a child waking before the sun has risen. The air is cold and damp. The child puts on thin, worn shoes. He walks through dark streets to the factory. Inside, the noise of machines is a constant roar. The roar is a sound that fills the head and never leaves. For 12 hours, the child works with loud, fast machines. For 14 hours, for 16 hours. If the child is slow, if they grow tired, if they make one small mistake, they will be punished. This was not an accident. It was designed to maintain order and maximize profit. Factory owners believed fear made children work faster and kept them silent. On the vast and noisy factory floor, one figure walked with authority and menace, the Overlooker. This man, or sometimes a woman, supervised by intimidation. In his hand, a leather strap, thick, heavy, hardened to sting through thin clothing. Some were wide and flat, others narrow and pointed, meant to cut and break skin. A constant presence, a symbol of power over every child in his section. Beatings were frequent and often public. The child would hold out their small hands, palms up, and receive the blows. The sharp crack of leather mixed with the clatter of machines, the factory's terrible symphony. Blows landed on hands, backs, even heads. Pain was immediate. Fear lingered long after the sting faded. Deep red welts, infected cuts, in a dirty, dusty mill. Sore, swollen hands made fine work agony, leading to more mistakes and more punishments. The cycle of pain was relentless. One former child laborer, Joseph Hebegam, testified in 1832, "I have had my ears boxed and my head thumped and been strapped on my back." The strap shaped minds as much as bodies, teaching children they were powerless. The sight or sound of a belt could trigger panic for years. More than discipline, it was a weapon to break a child's spirit. Children learned to work in constant anxiety, always watching for the Overlooker. A single child's pain taught dozens of others. This could be you. A dark, effective method to keep the wheels of industry turning without interruption. Punishments were not always physical. The fine system was no less cruel. Offenses were many and petty. A few minutes late could mean a fine, even in bad weather or exhaustion. Talking, whistling, looking outside, all fined. A bit of oil left, fined. Too slow fetching water, fined. Fines were deducted from already meager wages. After 70 hours, a child could bring home almost nothing. Sometimes fines exceeded wages, debt binding families to the mill. Every penny counted. A fine could mean hunger. Parents were powerless to protest. Dismissal loomed. The fines turned the factory into a trap. Dressed up as justice, fines added profit and control. Children feared not just the strap, but financial ruin for their families. It made them feel responsible for hardship, a weight no child should bear. Debt and the threat of unemployment made the factory owner master of the entire family. Beyond straps and fines lay officially sanctioned torments. One of the most brutal was weighting. Iron weights, 20, 30, even 40 pounds, hung from a child's neck, forced to work or parade for hours, a spectacle of shame. Strain on neck and spine left deformity, pain, and lasting injury. And lasting.
I was weighted. It was in consequence of my being too late.
Confinement played on primal fear, locked for hours in darkness. No light, no water, no toilet. Alone with fear, listening to the mill beyond the door. Others were hoisted into baskets and suspended high above the floor, exposed, unable to move, terrified of the danger below. Public humiliation deepened the wound. No visible marks, but lasting fear of closets, of heights, of power. In a terrifying twist, machinery itself became a punisher. Children were threatened, faces and fingers pushed toward moving parts. Washing meant dunking a dozing child's head in hot, or freezing water. Burns, shocks, infection, and a shift finished in wet garments. The line between accident and punishment grew terrifyingly thin. Machines were co-conspirators. Their noise and power amplified terror. Children's bodies were treated as disposable resources in the pursuit of profit. Faced with brutality, open rebellion was impossible, but not resistance. Children built secret warning systems to protect one another. They stole micronaps, a survival tactic, not laziness. Small, deniable acts slowed the mill's relentless pace. The punishments and work left lifelong scars, and physical and psychological anxiety, nightmares, and a deep fear of authority lingered. Powerlessness eroded bonds. The factory eclipsed the family. Simple, pained words pierced the conscience and sparked reform. These were tools of a system to extract maximum labor at minimum cost. From their suffering came laws on hours, safety, and schooling. Remember the children who held out hands, dragged weights, and sat in dark closets. Economic progress must never cost human dignity. Choose compassion over profit in their name.